Crash landing. The vast emptiness of space shimmered with countless stars, a deceptively peaceful backdrop to the frantic flight of a sleek silver spacecraft. Inside the cockpit, Princess Zara of the Lunar people gripped the controls with trembling hands, her iridescent eyes wide with fear and determination. Alarms blared around her, red warning lights flashing across the ship's consoles. "Computer, status report," Zara shouted, her voice cracking with exhaustion. "Multiple systems failing. Hull integrity at 37%. Fuel reserves critically low. Recommend immediate landing on nearest habitable planet," the AI responded in its emotionless tone. Zara's heart raced as she scanned the nearby star systems. Her home world of Lumina was light years behind her, consumed by a brutal civil war that had toppled her family's reign. She was the last of the royal line, carrying with her the hopes of her loyalists and the key to restoring peace to her people. A small blue-green planet appeared on her view screen. "Computer, analyze that world," Zara commanded. "Planet designation: Earth. Atmosphere breathable. Indigenous population pre-interstellar. Warning: landing protocols compromised. Crash imminent." Zara steeled herself. It wasn't an ideal situation, but she had no choice. "Initiate emergency landing sequence," she ordered, bracing for impact. The ship plummeted through Earth's atmosphere, its hull glowing red-hot from the friction. Zara fought to maintain control, but the damaged systems made it nearly impossible. Trees rushed up to meet her as the craft plunged into a dense forest, carving a destructive path through the wilderness before coming to a violent stop. Silence fell, broken only by the hiss of cooling metal and the distant calls of startled wildlife. Inside the wreckage, Zara lay unconscious, her delicate features marred by cuts and bruises. The ship's emergency beacon flickered weakly, its signal barely penetrating the thick canopy above. Miles away, in a small clearing, a scruffy mutt raised his head, ears twitching. The dog, a mixed breed with intelligent eyes and a shaggy coat, had been abandoned in these woods months ago. He'd learned to survive on his own, but a part of him still longed for companionship. Something in the air felt different. A faint scent unlike anything he'd encountered before tickled his sensitive nose. Curiosity overrode caution, and the dog set off into the forest, following the strange smell. As dawn broke, casting dappled sunlight through the leaves, the dog approached the crash site. Smoke still rose from the twisted metal of Zara's ship, and debris was scattered across the forest floor. The dog sniffed cautiously, circling the wreckage until he found an opening. Inside, he discovered Zara's unconscious form. The dog whined softly, nudging her hand with his wet nose. When she didn't respond, he curled up beside her, offering warmth and protection as he'd once done for his human family. Hours passed. The forest slowly came alive with the sounds of birds and small animals, seemingly undisturbed by the alien object in their midst. Inside the ship, Zara stirred, consciousness returning in a haze of pain and confusion. She blinked, trying to focus on her surroundings. The first thing she saw was a pair of warm brown eyes staring at her with concern. Zara gasped, instinctively recoiling before realizing the creature beside her posed no immediate threat. What are you?" she whispered, her translator struggling to find the right words in this world's languages. The dog tilted his head, tail wagging slightly at the sound of her voice. He let out a soft woof in response. Zara's scientific training kicked in, helping her push aside her fear and analyze the situation. The creature appeared to be some kind of native fauna, possibly domesticated given its non-aggressive behavior. Its presence was oddly comforting in the aftermath of her crash. Slowly, carefully, she reached out a hand. The dog sniffed it, then gave her fingers a gentle lick. A small smile crossed Zara's face, her first since fleeing her home world. "Thank you for staying with me, little one," she said softly. "I suppose we're both a bit lost, aren't we?" With the dog's help, Zara managed to extricate herself from the wreckage. Each movement sent spikes of pain through her body, But her luminar physiology was already working to heal the worst of her injuries. She stumbled out into the forest, leaning against a tree as she took in her new surroundings. The lush greenery was unlike anything on her arid home world. The air was thick with moisture and the sense of unfamiliar plants. Zara's scientific curiosity warred with a sense of caution. She was stranded on an alien world with unknown dangers. The dog stayed close, seeming to sense her unease. His presence was reassuring, a reminder that she wasn't entirely alone. Zara knelt down, wincing at the movement, and gently stroked the dog's fur. "I don't suppose you know where I might find help?" she asked, not expecting an answer. To her surprise, the dog barked once and began trotting away. After a few steps, he looked back at her expectantly. Zara hesitated, glancing back at her ruined ship. There was nothing salvageable in the short term, and staying put wasn't an option. With a deep breath, she made her decision. "Very well, my furry guide. Lead on." As they made their way through the forest, Zara's mind raced with plans and contingencies. Her top priority was to find a way to contact her allies without alerting her enemies to her location. But first, she needed to understand this world and its inhabitants. The dog led her to a small stream, and Zara realized how parched she was. She cupped her hands, drinking the cool water gratefully. As she did so, she caught sight of her reflection and gasped. Her usually sleek silver hair was matted with dirt and blood. The regal attire she'd worn during her escape was torn and burned. "I'm a far cry from a princess now," she murmured. The dog nudged her hand, as if offering comfort. Zara managed a small smile. "You're right. Titles mean little here. We focus on survival first." As the day wore on, Zara and her canine companion traversed the forest. The dog seemed to have a destination in mind, though Zara couldn't fathom what it might be. Her body ached, and the alien environment taxed her senses, but she pressed on. Periodically, they would stop to rest. During these breaks, Zara attempted to use her limited equipment to scan for signs of civilization. The results were inconclusive. There were faint energy signatures that might indicate technology, but nothing definitive. As evening approached, bringing with it a chorus of unfamiliar animal sounds, Zara's concern grew. She needed shelter for the night, and her knowledge of Earth's potential predators was non-existent. The dog, however, seemed unconcerned. Just as Zara was about to suggest they find a defensible position for the night, the trees thinned, revealing a startling sight. A small wooden structure stood in a clearing, clearly artificial, but long abandoned. "Is this what you were leading me to?" Zara asked the dog, who wagged his tail in response. Cautiously, they approached the building. It appeared to be some kind of recreational shelter, with a collapsed table inside and the remnants of a fire pit nearby. While primitive, it offered more protection than the open forest. Zara set about making the shelter as secure as possible, using broken branches to cover the windows and gathering dry leaves for bedding. The dog watched her work, occasionally bringing her sticks in an attempt to help. As night fell, Zara huddled in the shelter with her canine protector. She stroked his fur absently, finding comfort in his steady presence. "I don't even know what to call you," she mused. After a moment's thought, she smiled. "How about Orion? It seems fitting for a guide among the stars." The newly named Orion wagged his tail, seeming to approve. Zara's mind turned to the challenges ahead. She was stranded on a pre-interstellar world, hunted by her own people, with only a local animal as an ally. And yet, a spark of hope remained. If this world's inhabitants were advanced enough to build shelters like this, perhaps they were closer to the stars than she initially thought. As she drifted into an uneasy sleep, Zara made a silent vow. She would find a way to contact her allies, to save her people from the tyranny that had overthrown her family. And somehow, she would find a way to protect this beautiful, primitive world from the conflict that pursued her across the stars. Orion shifted closer, his warm body a reassuring presence in the alien night. Together, the unlikely pair, an exiled alien princess and a stray Earth dog, faced an uncertain future on a world that held both danger and hope. The adventure was only beginning. First contact, when worlds collide. The first rays of Earth's sun filtered through the makeshift shelter, rousing Princess Zara from her fitful sleep. For a moment, disorientation gripped her, the unfamiliar scents and sounds of Earth's forest a stark reminder of her predicament. A warm weight against her side drew her attention, and she looked down to see Orion, the dog who had become her unexpected companion, still curled up beside her. "At least one of us slept well," Zara murmured, a hint of fondness in her voice. She gently stroked Orion's fur, marveling at how quickly she'd come to rely on his presence. As if sensing her gaze, Orion's eyes fluttered open. He stretched, tail wagging, as he greeted the new day with enviable enthusiasm. Zara couldn't help but smile, despite the gravity of her situation. "Come on, boy," she said, rising stiffly. "We've got a lot of ground to cover." Their first priority was finding food and water. Zara's scientific training had included xenobiology, but theory and practice were vastly different. She eyed the various plants around them warily, unsure which might be safe for consumption. Orion, however, seemed to have no such reservations. He trotted confidently through the underbrush, occasionally stopping to sniff at something interesting. Zara followed, her curiosity piqued. "You seem to know your way around," she observed. "I don't suppose you could show me what's safe to eat." To her surprise, Orion barked once and moved purposefully towards a nearby bush. He gently took a berry in his mouth, then dropped it at Zara's feet, looking up at her expectantly. Zara hesitated, then picked up the berry. She ran it through her portable scanner, relieved to find it contained no toxins her luminar physiology couldn't handle. "Well done, Orion," she praised, popping the berry into her mouth. The burst of sweetness was a welcome relief after hours without food. Over the next few hours, Orion led Zara to various edible plants and fruits. She marveled at his intuition, wondering if all Earth dogs possessed such knowledge, or if Orion was exceptional. Either way, she was grateful for his guidance. As midday approached, the heat began to take its toll. Zara's homeworld was significantly cooler, and she found herself struggling with Earth's humidity. Orion seemed to sense her discomfort, leading her to a small, clear stream. Zara knelt by the water, splashing her face and drinking deeply. She caught sight of her reflection and barely recognized herself. Her once regal appearance was now disheveled, her silver hair tangled with leaves and dirt. But there was a new strength in her eyes, a determination born of survival. "Look at us, Orion," she said, glancing at the dog as he lapped at the stream beside her. "A princess and a stray, trying to make sense of this world together." Orion looked up at her, water dripping from his muzzle, and gave a soft woof, as if in agreement. As they rested by the stream, Zara's thoughts turned to her next moves. She needed to find a way to contact her allies without alerting her enemies, but more pressingly, she needed to understand this world and its inhabitants. "What do you think, Orion?" she mused aloud. "Should we try to find the beings who built that shelter, or should we focus on repairing my ship's communication systems?" Orion tilted his head, clearly not understanding but attentive nonetheless. Zara smiled, reaching out to scratch behind his ears. "You're right, one step at a time. First, we need to secure our survival. Then we can worry about interstellar politics." Their respite was interrupted by a distant rumble. Zara tensed, unfamiliar with Earth's weather patterns. "Is that normal?" she asked Orion, who had also perked up at the sound. The dog's sudden unease answered her question. Dark clouds were gathering overhead, and the forest had grown eerily quiet. "We need to find shelter," Zara realized. "Lead the way, boy." They set off at a brisk pace, Orion guiding them through the increasingly dense foliage. The wind picked up, whipping through the trees and sending leaves swirling around them. Zara's heart raced, her alien physiology ill-equipped for Earth's sudden meteorological shifts. Just as the first heavy raindrops began to fall, Orion barked excitedly. Ahead, barely visible through the gloom, was the mouth of a small cave. They ducked inside just as the sky opened up, unleashing a torrent of rain. "Good boy, Orion," Zara praised, catching her breath. "You're quite a survivor, aren't you?" As they settled into the cave, watching the storm rage outside, Zara found herself reflecting on the strange turns her life had taken. A week ago, she had been a princess, surrounded by the advanced technology of her people. Now she was huddled in a cave on an alien world, relying on a native animal for survival. And yet, there was something oddly freeing about it all. Here, stripped of her titles and responsibilities, she was just Zara, a being trying to survive, no different from Orion or the creatures of this forest. As the day wore on and the storm showed no signs of abating, Zara began to explore their temporary shelter. The cave was deeper than she'd initially thought, extending back into darkness. Curiosity piqued. She activated the light on her portable scanner. "Stay close, Orion," she murmured as they ventured deeper. The beam of light revealed crude markings on the cave walls, primitive art depicting stick figures and animals. Zara's excitement grew. This was evidence of Earth's indigenous intelligent life. "Look at this, Orion," she said, running her hand over the ancient paintings. "Your people, humans, I assume, left their mark here long ago. Fascinating." As she studied the images, Zara's scientific mind went into overdrive. The art suggested a species capable of abstract thought, of recording their experiences for future generations. It was a far cry from the advanced civilization she'd need to contact her allies, but it was a start. Their exploration was cut short by a hair-raising howl from outside the cave. Orion's hackles raised, a low growl rumbling in his chest. Zara froze, her alien ears straining to identify the source of the sound. "What is it, boy?" she whispered, one hand resting reassuringly on Orion's back. The howl came again, closer this time. Through the curtain of rain, Zara caught a glimpse of movement, sleek, predatory forms prowling at the edge of the forest. "Wolves," she breathed, recognizing the animals from her studies of Earth's fauna. Not exactly the locals I was hoping to meet. Orion positioned himself between Zara and the cave entrance, his protective instincts in full force. Zara felt a surge of affection for her loyal companion, even as fear threatened to overwhelm her. "It's okay," she soothed as much for herself as for Orion. "We're safe in here. They can't reach us." As if to challenge her words, one of the wolves appeared at the cave mouth, its eyes gleaming in the dim light. Orion's growl deepened, and Zara's hand instinctively went to the small energy weapon at her hip, a last resort she'd hoped never to use. For a tense moment, predator and prey locked eyes. Then, to Zara's amazement, the wolf turned away, retreating into the storm with its pack. "Did you see that, Orion?" Zara exclaimed, her voice hushed with awe. "They respected your claim on this territory. Your species must have a complex relationship with theirs." As the adrenaline of the moment faded, exhaustion set in. Zara slumped against the cave wall, sliding down to sit on the cool stone floor. Orion padded over, resting his head on her lap. "What a day," Zara murmured, absently stroking Orion's fur. "You know, on my world, we have AIs and robots to help us with everything. But here, I'm learning more about survival and adaptation than I ever did in the Royal Academy." She looked down at Orion, a smile playing on her lips. "And I've gained a far better companion than any robot. Thank you, my friend." As night fell and the storm gradually subsided, Zara and Orion huddled together in the cave, each drawing comfort from the other's presence. The princess from the stars and the dog from Earth, an unlikely alliance forged in the crucible of survival. Before drifting off to sleep, Zara's thoughts turned once more to her mission, to the conflict that had driven her to this wild, beautiful world. But now those concerns seemed distant, overshadowed by more immediate challenges. "Tomorrow," she whispered to Orion, "we'll start looking for your people, humans. They're our best hope for getting off this planet and saving my world." She paused, then added softly, but a part of me almost wishes we could stay here, just like this. Orion's only response was a contented sigh as he snuggled closer. As Zara closed her eyes, she realized that in this dog, this loyal, brave Earth creature, she had found not just an ally, but a true friend. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Little did Zara know that as she slept, fate was already in motion. For at the edge of the forest, a group of human scientists was setting up camp, their equipment picking up faint, inexplicable energy readings coming from deep within the woods. The next day would bring an encounter that would change not just Zara's fate, but the destiny of two worlds. The adventure was about to take an unexpected turn as first contact loomed on the horizon. Cosmic collision. Earth meets the stars. As dawn broke over the forest, casting dappled light through the canopy, two worlds teetered on the brink of a monumental encounter. Princess Zara of Lumina and her faithful canine companion, Orion, emerged from their cave shelter, unaware that destiny awaited them just beyond the tree line. Meanwhile, at the forest's edge, Dr. Samantha Chen adjusted her high-tech sensor array, frowning at the bizarre readings flickering across her tablet. "Hey, Jackson," she called out to her research partner. "Are you seeing this?" Dr. Jackson Reeves, a rugged astrophysicist with a penchant for the unexplained, jogged over. His eyes widened as he scanned the data. "Holy quantum fluctuations," he whispered. "Sam, this is impossible." "Impossible is our job description," Samantha quipped, but her voice trembled with excitement. "Whatever's causing these readings, it's not from around here. We're talking potential extraterrestrial technology." As the human scientists grappled with their discovery, Zara and Orion ventured deeper into the forest. The alien princess's wounds had mostly healed, thanks to her advanced biology, but her ship's distress beacon remained stubbornly silent. "We need to find higher ground," Orion, Zara mused, studying her malfunctioning scanner. "If there's any advanced technology on this planet, we might be able to detect it from." Her words cut off abruptly as Orion froze, ears pricked forward. A low growl rumbled in his chest. "What is it, boy?" Zara whispered, crouching beside him. The answer came in the form of voices, human voices, carried on the breeze. Zara's heart raced. This was it. First contact. Everything depended on how she handled this moment. "Easy, Orion," she soothed, though her own nerves were on edge. "Let's approach carefully." As they crept forward, the voices grew clearer. Zara's universal translator, miraculously still functioning, began to decipher the strange Earth language. "Telling you, Sam, these readings are off the charts. If this is a hoax, it's the most elaborate one I've ever seen." "It's not a hoax, Jackson. Look at the isotope decay. This is genuine alien tech. I'd bet my PhD on it." Zara's breath caught in her throat. They knew. Somehow, these humans had detected her presence, but they didn't sound hostile. If anything, they sounded excited. Taking a deep breath, Zara made her decision. With Orion at her side, she stepped into the clearing where Samantha and Jackson stood huddled over their equipment. "Greetings," Zara said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I believe I'm the one you're looking for." The reaction was instantaneous. Both scientists whirled around, their jaws dropping in perfect unison. For a long moment, silence reigned, broken only by the gentle rustle of leaves and Orion's soft panting. Jackson was the first to find his voice. You're not from around here," Zara finished for him, a small smile playing on her lips. "My name is Zara. I come from a world called Lumina, far beyond your solar system. And this," she added, gesturing to her furry companion, "is Orion. He's native to your planet, but he's been my guide and protector since I arrived." Samantha's scientific training kicked in, overriding her shock. "Arrived? You mean you crashed? We detected the energy signature of your ship." Her eyes narrowed. "Why are you here? Is this an invasion?" Zara's eyes widened. No, nothing like that. I'm a refugee. My world is embroiled in a civil war, and I barely escaped with my life. I'm here by accident, I assure you." Jackson, who had been quietly observing, suddenly snapped his fingers. "You're the princess." At Zara's startled look, he elaborated. "We intercepted fragments of transmissions. Something about a royal fugitive. That's you, isn't it?" Zara nodded slowly. "Yes, I am, or was, the crown princess of Lumina. Now, I'm simply someone in need of help. My ship is damaged beyond repair with the resources I have available. I need to contact my allies, but I can't risk alerting my enemies to my location." Samantha and Jackson exchanged glances, years of partnership allowing them to communicate volumes in a single look. Finally, Samantha stepped forward, extending her hand. "Well, Your Highness," she said, a hint of wonder in her voice. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Dr. Samantha Chen, and this is Dr. Jackson Reeves. With scientists studying anomalous phenomena, I'd say you qualify." Zara took Samantha's hand, marveling at the warmth of human contact. "Thank you, Dr. Chen. Your welcome means more than you can know." As the group began to talk in earnest, sharing information and marveling at the cosmic coincidence that had brought them together, none of them noticed the tiny drone hovering high above the tree line. Its camera zoomed in on the unlikely gathering: an alien princess, 2 human scientists, and a loyal Earth dog. Miles away, in a top-secret government facility, a grizzled general leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the live feed. "Well, I'll be damned," he muttered. "Looks like the space race just got a lot more interesting." As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting its light on this historic meeting, the fate of 2 worlds hung in the balance. Zara's quest for help had led to humanity's first confirmed extraterrestrial contact, but with shadowy government forces now aware of her presence and the ever-present threat of her pursuers from Lumina, the true challenge was only beginning. The adventure that had started with a crash landing was about to explode onto a galactic stage. Earth would never be the same, and Zara's fight for her people's freedom would soon become intertwined with humanity's destiny among the stars. In the heart of the forest, oblivious to the cosmic wheels now turning, Zara knelt to scratch behind Orion's ears. "Well, boy," she murmured, "looks like we've started something big. I just hope we're ready for what comes next." Orion's tail wagged, his canine optimism a beacon of hope in the face of the unknown. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, princess, scientists, and loyal dog, standing at the threshold of a new era for both their worlds. Quantum Leap, the galactic underground railroad. The forest clearing hummed with an energy that transcended the merely electrical. Princess Zara of Lumina, her canine companion Orion, and Earth scientists, Dr. Samantha Chen and Dr. Jackson Reeves, huddled around a cobbled-together array of Earth tech and alien components. The air crackled with possibility and danger. "Are you sure about this, Zara?" Samantha asked, her fingers hovering over her tablet. "Once we activate the quantum beacon, there's no going back. Every advanced civilization in the galaxy will know Earth has made first contact." Zara's iridescent eyes flickered with determination. "We don't have a choice, Sam. My people are suffering under the regime that overthrew my family. If we don't reach out to the Galactic Alliance now, Earth could become collateral damage in a war it never asked for." Jackson nodded grimly. "She's right. Better to announce ourselves on our terms than wait for hostiles to come knocking." Orion whined softly, pressing against Zara's leg. She smiled down at him, drawing strength from his unwavering loyalty. "Okay, let's do this. For Lumina, for Earth, for freedom across the stars." With a deep breath, Samantha activated the device. A pulse of energy, invisible yet palpable, rippled outward. In orbit, satellites briefly flickered. Across the globe, sensitive instruments registered an anomaly that would baffle scientists for years to come. But in the depths of space, something ancient stirred. Miles away, in the shadowy war room of a secret government facility, alarms blared. General Lance Ironside slammed his fist on the table. "What do you mean, Unknown quantum signature. Find out what those eggheads in the forest just did, and contain it. Back in the clearing, the group waited with bated breath. Minutes stretched into an hour, then two. Just as despair began to set in, Zara's makeshift communicator crackled to life. A holographic figure materialized, a being of swirling energy and starlight. Its voice resonated not in the air, but in their minds. "Greetings, Princess Zara of Lumina. Greetings, people of Earth. I am Zephyr, emissary of the Galactic Alliance. Your call has been heard." Awe and relief washed over Zara's face. "Zephyr, thank the cosmic winds. We need your help. Lumina has fallen to the Void Dominion, and Earth is in danger of being caught in the crossfire." Zephyr's form shimmered with concern. "The situation is dire indeed, young princess, but take heart. Your signal has activated the Quantum Underground, a network of freedom fighters spanning galaxies. Even now, allies are mobilizing." Jackson stepped forward, his scientific curiosity overriding his shock. "Quantum Underground? You mean there's a galactic resistance movement?" "Indeed, Dr. Rees," Zephyr replied. "Tyranny is not unique to Lumina. For millennia, we have worked in secret, guiding developing worlds and opposing those who would dominate them. Earth's emergence could tip the balance." Samantha's eyes widened. "Are you saying Earth is some kind of cosmic linchpin?" "Every world has potential, Dr. Chen, but Earth's unique blend of biodiversity, cultural diversity, and technological innovation makes it a wild card in galactic affairs. The Void Dominion fears what humanity might become." Zara's expression hardened with resolve. "Then we must act quickly. Zephyr, can you extract us? We need to coordinate with the Alliance." "I'm afraid it's not that simple, Your Highness. The Void Dominion's agents are already on Earth, searching for you. A direct extraction would expose our operation and endanger billions." Orion growled low, sensing the tension. Zara knelt beside him, her mind racing. "Then what do you suggest?" Zephyr's form coalesced into a shimmering map of the galaxy. "We've activated sleeper cells across Earth. They'll work to keep you hidden while advancing humanity's technological development. You must stay on Earth, Princess Zara. Guide them, prepare them. When the time comes, Earth must be ready to join the galactic stage." "But my people," Zara protested. "Lumina suffers while I hide." "Your people's hope lives in you, Princess. Trust in the underground. We will not abandon Lumina." As the gravity of the situation sank in, a new sound cut through the air, the whir of approaching helicopters. "Damn it," Jackson hissed. "The government's found us. We need to move." Zephyr's form began to fade. "Remember, you are not alone. Look for the quantum butterfly. It will guide you to allies. May the cosmic winds be at your back." With that, the hologram vanished. In the distance, voices shouted and dogs barked. Samantha grabbed her pack. "We can't let them get their hands on this tech. If the wrong people reverse engineer it." "Agreed," Zara said. "Orion, think you can lead us out of here, boy?" The dog barked once, tail wagging with determination. As they fled into the deepening shadows of the forest, the weight of galaxies pressed upon them. Earth, Lumina, countless worlds hanging in the balance. 4 unlikely heroes, an alien princess, 2 maverick scientists, and a loyal dog now carried the hopes of billions. The Quantum Underground had awakened. The race to save not just 2 worlds, but the very fabric of galactic freedom had begun. In the skies above, unnoticed by human eyes, a shimmering butterfly of pure energy flitted between the stars, a beacon of hope in a darkening cosmos. Neon Rebellion, Earth's hidden defenders. The neon-soaked streets of Neo-Tokyo pulsed with life, a cyberpunk dreamscape where humanity's future and alien influence collided in a riot of color and sound. Amidst the throng of bustling pedestrians and hovering ad drones, 4 figures moved with purpose, their faces obscured by holomasks. Princess Zara of Lumina, her silver hair now a shock of electric blue, led the way. Beside her, Orion padded silently, his canine form augmented with cutting-edge Earth tech that masked his biosignature. Dr. Samantha Chen and Dr. Jackson Reeves followed, their scientist personas swapped for those of seasoned cyber runners. "I still can't believe how much Earth has changed in just 2 years," Zara murmured, her eyes drinking in the towering arcologies and quantum billboards. Samantha nodded, her fingers dancing across a holographic interface projected from her wrist. "The quantum underground's tech infusion accelerated our development by decades, but it also painted a target on our backs." Speaking of targets, Jackson cut in, his cybernetic eye whirring as it scanned the crowd. "We've got company. Void Dominion agents, 3 o'clock." Zara's hand instinctively went to the energy pistol concealed beneath her neo-leather jacket. "How many?" "3, no 4. They're good, but not good enough to hide from Earth's latest toys." Orion growled softly, his enhanced senses picking up on the threat. "Easy boy," Zara soothed. "We knew this meeting would be risky, but the Butterfly Network's intel is too important to ignore." They ducked into a narrow alley, holographic graffiti shimmering on the walls. At the end, a door pulsed with a subtle quantum signature, invisible to most, but a beacon to those in the know. Samantha pressed her palm to the scanner, and the door slid open with a pneumatic hiss. They slipped inside, finding themselves in a hidden tech haven. Screens lined the walls, each displaying a different facet of the global resistance against the Void Dominion's silent invasion. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman with circuits etched into her skin like luminous tattoos. "Welcome, Stardust," she said, using Zara's code name. "I'm Neon, your liaison to Tokyo's cell." Zara nodded. "What have you got for us, Neon?" Neon's fingers danced in the air, conjuring a holographic star map. "We've detected a massive energy surge in the Kuiper Belt. The Void Dominion is building something big out there, cloaked from conventional sensors." Jackson leaned in, his cybernetic eyes zooming on the anomaly. "A superweapon." "Worse," Neon replied grimly. "We think it's a planet killer. One capable of destroying Earth without a single void ship entering the atmosphere." The room fell silent, the weight of this revelation settling heavily on everyone's shoulders. Samantha was the first to speak. "How long do we have?" "Based on the energy readings, 3 months, maybe less." Zara's mind raced. "We need to take the fight to them. But Earth's space program, even with our recent advancements, isn't ready for deep space combat," Jackson finished. "We'd be sitting ducks." Orion whined softly, pressing against Zara's leg. She absently scratched behind his ears, drawing comfort from his presence as she had countless times over the past 2 years. Suddenly, Zara's eyes lit up. "Wait, what if we don't need to go to them? What if we could bring the battle here, on our terms?" Neon raised an eyebrow. "I'm listening." "The quantum beacon we used to contact the Galactic Alliance. With some modifications, could we use it to create a localized wormhole, bring a small section of the Kuiper Belt into Earth's orbit?" Samantha's fingers flew across her holo interface. "It's crazy, but it might just work. We'd need an enormous power source, though." "I think I know where we can get one," Jackson said, a sleek grin spreading across his face. "Remember that volcanic clean energy project in Hawaii?" Neon nodded slowly, understanding dawning. "It's not just a power plant, it's a cover for a quantum reactor," Zara finished. "Powerful enough to punch a hole in space-time." As the group began to formulate their audacious plan, alarms suddenly blared. Neon's eyes widened. "Void agents, they found us." The door exploded inward and chaos erupted. Energy blasts sizzled through the air as Void Dominion forces poured in. Zara and her team sprang into action, years of training and hardship culminating in this moment. Orion launched himself at the nearest attacker, his augmented jaws clamping down with superhuman force. Samantha and Jackson worked in perfect sync, their hybrid Earth-alien weapons cutting through the Void's defenses. Zara found herself face to face with the Void Commander, a towering figure in obsidian armor. "Your rebellion ends here, Princess," he snarled. Zara's eyes narrowed, her hands glowing with concentrated quantum energy. "No," she replied, her voice steel. "This is where it truly begins." As the battle raged, tearing through the neon-lit streets of Neo-Tokyo, the fate of two worlds hung in the balance. The Neon Rebellion, Earth's hidden defenders, fought not just for their planet, but for the freedom of galaxies. In the chaos, none noticed the quantum butterfly flitting between reality and possibility, its wings leaving trails of infinite futures. The stage was set for a showdown that would shake the very foundations of space and time. Earth's final stand against the Void Dominion loomed on the horizon, with the unlikely alliance of an exiled princess, two brilliant scientists, a loyal dog, and a planet of newly awakened cosmic defenders ready to challenge the stars themselves. To be continued in the epic conclusion, Quantum Apocalypse, Earth's Cosmic Destiny, Cosmic Convergence, the Multiverse Nexus. The air crackled with otherworldly energy as Princess Zara, Orion, Dr. Samantha Chen, and Dr. Jackson Reeves stood atop the dormant volcano in Hawaii. What once masqueraded as a clean energy plant now revealed its true nature, a quantum reactor of unimaginable power. "Are we really doing this?" Jackson muttered, his cybernetic eye whirring as it calculated probabilities. Creating a localized wormhole could tear reality apart. Zara's iridescent eyes blazed with determination. "We don't have a choice. The Void Dominion's planet killer will be operational in days. It's now or never." Samantha's fingers danced across holographic interfaces, fine-tuning the reactor's output. Quantum harmonics aligned. Multiverse resonance at 97% and climbing. "We're as ready as we'll ever be." Orion whined softly, his canine instincts sensing the wrongness in the air. Zara knelt beside him, drawing strength from his unwavering loyalty. "I know, boy. I'm scared too, but we've come too far to back down now." As the group made their final preparations, the sky above them shimmered and tore. The Void Dominion's cloaking field faltered, revealing a massive battle station looming in low Earth orbit. "They're here," Jackson growled. "Looks like our little plan got their attention." Zara straightened, her royal bearing shining through despite years in hiding. "Good. Let them come. Earth stops being a secret battlefield today." With a nod to Samantha, Zara placed her hand on the reactor's main control panel. Energy surged through her luminary physiology amplifying the quantum currents. The volcano rumbled beneath them as reality itself began to warp. Miles above, aboard the Void Dominion's battle station, alarms blared. The ship's commander, a being of shadow and malice, snarled at his subordinates. "What is happening? Why can't we fire the planet killer?" A trembling technician responded, "Something's interfering with our quantum matrix, sir. The weapon can't lock onto Earth's coordinates." Back on the volcano's peak, a blinding light erupted from the reactor. The air split open, revealing not just one wormhole, but a cascading series of rifts in space-time. Through each tear, glimpses of alternate Earths and parallel timelines flickered into view. By the cosmic winds, Zara breathed. "We've created a multiverse nexus." Samantha's eyes widened in awe and terror. The quantum energies are linking parallel Earths across countless realities. We're not just facing our Earth's Void Dominion. We're uniting the multiverse against them, Jackson finished, his voice a mix of excitement and fear. As if in response to his words, ships began to emerge from the rifts. Vessels of impossible configurations, crewed by alternate versions of humanity and their alien allies. Each had faced their own version of the Void Dominion, and now they converged to make a final stand. Orion barked sharply, drawing their attention to the sky. The Void Dominion's battle station was descending, its weapon powering up in a last-ditch effort to destroy this Earth before the multiverse cavalry arrived. Zara's comlink crackled to life, and a familiar voice filled the air. "Princess Zara, This is Admiral Chen of Earth Defense Force Omega. Looks like you could use a hand, or a few million. Samantha gasped, locking eyes with her multiversal counterpart's hologram. This is incredible. No time for introductions, Admiral Chen barked. We've got a void dominion to crush. All realities, all Earths, it ends here. As if choreographed by some cosmic conductor, ships from 1,000,000 Earths opened fire on the Void Dominion battle station. The sky erupted in a dazzling display of advanced weaponry, reality-warping missiles, and energies beyond human comprehension. On the volcano, Zara raised her hand, channeling the quantum reactor's power. For Lumina, for Earth, for every reality they threatened, fire. A beam of pure possibility lanced from the volcano, joining the multiverse armada's assault. The Void Dominion battle station shuddered under the onslaught, cracks spreading across its obsidian surface. In a last, desperate move, the station's commander aimed its planet killer directly at the quantum reactor. If we fall, we take them with us. Time seemed to slow as the beam lanced towards Hawaii. Zara closed her eyes, ready to face oblivion, but the impact never came. Orion, faithful to the last, leaped into the air, his body suddenly glowing with the same energy as the quantum butterfly that had guided them. In a flash of light, he transformed into a being of pure quantum energy, intercepting the blast and absorbing its power. Orion, Zara cried out, reaching for her friend. The cosmic canine turned to her, his eyes filled with infinite wisdom. When he spoke, his voice echoed with the power of 1,000 realities. It was always meant to be this way, Zara. One final sacrifice to save not just our world, but all worlds. With a howl that shook the multiverse, Orion released the combined energies of the planet killer and the quantum reactor. The Void Dominion battle station disintegrated, taking with it the threat that had loomed over countless realities. As the light faded and the rifts in space-time began to close, Zara fell to her knees. Samantha and Jackson rushed to her side, their victory bittersweet. He's gone, Zara whispered, tears streaming down her face. Orion saved us all. As the multiverse armada began to return to their own realities, Admiral Chen's hologram appeared once more. Princess Zara, Dr. Chen, Dr. Rees, you've done the impossible. You've united the multiverse and defeated the Void Dominion across all realities. The Cosmic Council requests your presence. It's time for Earth, all Earths, to take their place among the stars. Zara stood, her grief mingling with a sense of cosmic purpose. She looked to her friends, then to the sky where Orion had made his final stand. We're ready, she said, her voice strong despite her tears. For Orion, for Earth, for all realities, let's shape the future of the multiverse. As they prepared to depart, a shimmering quantum butterfly landed on Zara's shoulder. For a moment, she could have sworn she heard Orion's bark echoing across the quantum foam of reality. The multiverse nexus had changed everything. Earth was no longer just a small blue planet in an unremarkable galaxy. It was the linchpin of reality itself, ready to lead the charge into a new era of cosmic harmony. To be concluded in the mind-bending final, Quantum Ascension, Architects of Eternity. Quantum Ascension, Architects of Eternity. The swirling vortex of the cosmic nexus enveloped Princess Zara, Dr. Samantha Chen, and Dr. Jackson Rees as they stepped through the portal. Echoes of Orion's sacrifice resonated through the quantum foam, a bittersweet reminder of all they had gained and lost. As reality coalesced around them, they found themselves standing on a platform of pure starlight, suspended in the heart of creation itself. The Cosmic Council chamber sprawled before them, a breathtaking amphitheater where the fate of universes was decided. Beings of every conceivable form filled the seats, some corporeal, others pure energy, and still others defying description altogether. At the center stood a circular dais, upon which sat the 5 cosmic arbiters, their forms constantly shifting between states of matter and energy. Welcome, champions of Earth, the arbiters spoke in unison, their voices resonating on frequencies beyond normal hearing. Your actions have reshaped the very fabric of the multiverse. Zara stepped forward, her royal bearing shining through despite the awe-inspiring surroundings. We come seeking justice for Lumina, for Earth, and for all realities threatened by the Void Dominion. The lead arbiter, a being of swirling galaxies and nebulae, leaned forward. The Void Dominion was but a symptom of a greater imbalance, one that you, in your quest for survival, have inadvertently corrected. Samantha's scientific curiosity overcame her initial shock. What do you mean, imbalance? A holographic display materialized in the center of the chamber, showing the intricate web of the multiverse. For eons, another arbiter explained, the multiverse has been fragmented, each reality isolated from the others. This separation allowed cosmic parasites like the Void Dominion to prey upon vulnerable worlds. But your creation of the multiverse nexus, the third arbiter continued, has begun a process of cosmic reunification. The barriers between realities are thinning, allowing for a flow of knowledge, culture, and mutual defense. Jackson's cybernetic eye whirred as he processed the implications. Are you saying we've triggered some kind of multiversal evolution? Precisely, the fourth arbiter confirmed. And now we face a choice that will determine the fate of all existence. The final arbiter, a being of pure light, addressed Zara directly. Princess of Lumina, you stand at a cosmic crossroads. The power that flows through you, augmented by your Earth allies and the sacrifice of your faithful companion, has marked you as a potential cosmic curator. Zora's eyes widened. Cosmic curator? A guardian of realities, the first arbiter explained. One who can traverse the multiverse, maintaining balance and fostering cooperation between dimensions. But the role comes at a great price. You would transcend your current form, becoming a being of pure quantum consciousness. The weight of the decision pressed down on Zara. She turned to her friends, seeing the mixture of awe and concern in their eyes. Samantha spoke first, her voice thick with emotion. Zara, whatever you choose, know that you've already changed the course of history. Earth, all Earths, owe you a debt we can never repay. Jackson nodded in agreement. You've given us a future among the stars. Now it's your turn to decide your own destiny. Zara closed her eyes, feeling the quantum energies surging through her veins. In that moment, she sensed echoes of Orion, not just her faithful companion, but every version of him across the multiverse. His sacrifice had opened this door, and now, her eyes snapped open, blazing with newfound purpose. I accept, she declared, but on one condition, I won't do this alone. The arbiters exchanged glances, a ripple of surprise passing through the cosmic assembly. Explain, the lead arbiter prompted. Zara gestured to Samantha and Jackson. These humans have proven themselves as capable and worthy as any being in the cosmos, and they represent the best of what Earth, of what humanity, has to offer. I propose a triumvirate of cosmic curators, science, innovation, and harmony, working in concert to guide the multiverse into a new era. A murmur ran through the assembly. The arbiters conferred silently for what felt like an eternity compressed into a heartbeat. Finally, the lead arbiter spoke. Your proposal is unprecedented, but these are unprecedented times. We accept. What followed was a transformation beyond imagining. Zara, Samantha, and Jackson felt their consciousness expand, encompassing the vastness of the multiverse. They became beings of pure quantum energy, able to perceive and influence the intricate web of realities. As the process completed, the newly ascended trio stood before the Cosmic Council, their forms shimmering with the power of creation itself. Behold, the arbiters announced, the dawn of the quantum age. May your wisdom guide us all. With a gesture, the lead arbiter opened a window to Earth, to all Earths across the multiverse. Zara, Samantha, and Jackson saw the beginnings of a new cosmic civilization rising. The knowledge unlocked by the multiverse nexus was ushering in an era of unprecedented growth and cooperation. But they also saw the challenges ahead: rogue realities, cosmic imbalances, and the ever-present threat of forces that thrived on chaos and destruction. As they prepared to embark on their first mission as cosmic curators, Zara felt a familiar presence. The quantum butterfly that had guided them materialized, transforming into a spectral image of Orion. "Well done, old friend," the cosmic canine's voice echoed in their minds. "The adventure is just beginning." With a shared smile, the trio, once an exiled princess, two brilliant scientists, and a loyal dog, stepped into the quantum stream. They were no longer bound by the limits of a single reality or lifetime. They had become the architects of eternity, guardians of a multiverse brimming with infinite possibilities. As they vanished into the cosmic tapestry, their final words resonated across all of creation. For Earth, for Lumina, for every world and every reality, let the quantum age begin. The end and a new beginning.